Okay. I'm live. Okay. I don't know if anyone can hear me. Of course, there's only a couple people here, so. I have a question. I'll be right back. Hang on a second. Is this going to stay the same? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, there we go. All right. Okay. Oh, I think I heard myself too. There's a bit of a delay, so it's kind of weird for me to...
That's why I gotta look at this one.
Yeah, I gotta look at that one. Or that one. They're both the same, honestly. They're both a little delayed. Oh, thanks, Fun Time. You came from Game Joel, right? Did you? I feel like I recognize your name. Yeah, all right. Well, thank you. You know what? I appreciate you actually coming over. Even if it's... Oh, your toasty liver. Okay. I remember that name. Okay. Well, thanks. I appreciate you coming over. So, yeah, I'm going to make a cake for myself. And it's apparently just you and me and one other person who's staying very quiet for this whole thing. So, anyway, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Alrighty. I'm going to start. Make sure I can see everything. Get this angle down a little. I think that should do it. Yep, okay. I'm gonna roll out a fact sheet for this, and I'm gonna make a peely, which I guess you saw already. And I'm going to try to make him like upright, and he's really tall and skinny, so I'm not going to do a lot of tall and skinny as much as, the gesture is gonna be there. Because otherwise I'd have a very, very tall and skinny cake. So anyway, I don't know, this is going to be a little bit different. I'm not used to doing this just for YouTube, so usually there's not as many people and they don't talk as much. So maybe it'll be quieter. I don't know. I'm going to cover the cake board just like I did. Did you see the Pokemon Diglett cake I did where I covered the cake board? Because I'm going to do that again. I'm going to just cover the background in a color just so it's not, shiny and silver and ugly. And then go from there. And even if nobody does end up really watching it, I'm going to talk it out as I'm doing it so it still makes for a tutorial video. Which I guess is good, as my dogs are wrestling in the background. They had a nap and now they feel good. So I'm going to make this. Trying to find art tips. That's okay. I appreciate you stopping by, like I said. And there are the dogs. So have you been playing the new Fortnite season at all? Because my boys have been kind of going crazy on it. My husband plays as well. I never got into it, but they've been loving it. Try to get this a little longer. It doesn't really matter how thin it is, thickness-wise. You never played Fortnite? Oh, okay, so you're in my club. I just like the characters. They're fun looking. Okay. Oh, it ripped. That's unfortunate. A little. It shouldn't matter, honestly. Oh, hi, Mom. My mom is here. I got my mom and someone from Game Jolt here. This is nice. It's like my own little private birthday party here. Are you gonna you have to stay? See, Fun Time doesn't have to stay the whole time. They're excused, but if my mom shows up, she has to stay the whole time and watch. Darn it. Unless she's busy, then you don't have to stay any longer. Try get this a little further along. dust and junk all over the place. There we go. I'm not going to worry too much about the center, just like before, because there's going to be a cake there, and you're not even going to see it. And even where the seams are, usually fondant is so mushy and melty that you can cover it up and hide it. Okay, yeah, so I'm not going to go crazy with this. And this fondant is pretty cheap and flimsy too. I think I overcolored it, or I should say I just colored it, and now it's very, very, very soft. Where's my board? Here we go. And I'm going to smooth it off. So Game Jolt people, are you missing the firesides yet? Because I know I sure am. I am missing them. They were fun. They were a fun distraction. And that's another thing too I miss. Like, I liked the firesides on Game Jolt because there was just so much more interaction there. Like you guys, the kids that were on there tended to be willing to chat more, which makes it more fun. Of course. I've got like a ton of air bubbles in here. Yeah, I like to pop into random firesides too. I would do that every once in a while, and sometimes I guess the person would be very surprised. They're like, oh my gosh, Caketastic Cakes is here. So like, hey, hi, just looking, just snooping. Although there was this one fireside I jumped into just by chance, and they caught me, because sometimes I just like to see what people are watching, you know. And the kid caught me, and he kept calling me Cakester. He was like, Cakester's here. I'm like, no, it's Caketastic Cakes. He's like, Cakester, Cakester. I'm like, yep, I'm Cakester. That works. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna leave this for now, even though it's a mess and not. No, you know what? I'm gonna do a little more. I'm just gonna put a couple little white cloud things on here. Your name is not Cakester. Please don't call me that. Yeah. It was cute because he was little. It turned out he was a young kid, which I don't like to be in their firesides if I can help it, just because grown-ups and children's firesides can be creepy. So you don't want to do that. However, it was very cute. He kept calling me Cakester. Oh my goodness. Alright, this is so soft and so sticky. Oh my goodness, this is not good. Everything is so linty. It's just lint all over the place. So if you have any questions or anything you have for me, you know, anything you want to talk about, because I'm going to be here a little while, feel free to send it over, comment it, because yeah, why not, right? Keeps me entertained as well. I'm trying to make kind of a cloud shape, but it's coming out more like an amoeba, which maybe more organic is good. Maybe that's what it needs. cover those seams and those ugly spots. And all I'm doing is I'm rolling out fondant right now. I put a little bit of Crisco on the counter. My goodness. And just making some little white fondant clouds to help hide the mess that is my cake board, I guess you could say. Yeah, I know. Thank you. Okay, I think that's probably good enough. I'm going to have a 6-inch cake on here. So by the time it's all said and done, it should be covered up. Okay, we're just going to try it, see what happens, right? Alright, so if you don't know, I'm going to make a Peely cake. I like the new Fortnite skin. I like what they're doing with it. And so I figured, why not, right? So I've got lots of chocolate cake and a little bit more chocolate cake that I'm going to ice and then cut to fit. If I have a cake board, which I might not. Sometimes you gotta reuse some old cake boards or cut them when they're not the right size. Hi, doggy. I don't know if you can see this little nose sticking up right here. Right there, right there. Or the big nose over here. They like cake day. They like when I make cakes. They smell like they've been outside in the fresh air. All right, getting closer. Getting closer. Don't know why I didn't think to get this ready ahead of time, but I didn't. Okay, that's perfect. All right, cakes are tasty, don't blame them. Yeah. Oh, thank you, handing me stuff, because they've learned that if they bring me things, I will give them a treat for dropping it and giving it to me and for being a good dog. But it also means that they just bring me stuff hoping that they can get cake as a thank you treat, which doesn't always work. So these are 6-inch tiers, like I said. I've got 4 of them. Some of them baked better than others. And right now I'm just going to stack them. So this is just regular American buttercream. And in case you're wondering, this is chocolate cake and banana cream flavored filling here, or icing, because, you know, Peely had to do the chocolate and banana thing. It seemed appropriate. And it's not like we're just going to eat it all anyway, so it didn't matter what I flavored it as. Because on the whole, banana is not a highly requested flavor. People like it in those sheet cakes that they'll get from like Walmart or something that has strawberry and banana and vanilla in it. I don't know. It's not for me. Banana would be, yeah, no, for some reason it's a strong flavor, kind of, and when you eat a cake you don't necessarily want to commit all the time. Well, that I found, you know, hypothetically, they don't want to commit all the time to banana. They'd rather have vanilla or chocolate or something that's more pleasing, generally speaking. But whatever, right? It's my cake, darn it. All right, here we go. This is a lot like the Diglet cake, only it's kind of listing. Don't know why it's listing. Don't know why. So I'm gonna try to bolster it up. You want to bolster from the top because if you put too much down bottom, it'll just squish out anyway. All right, now that I've got my overall here, overall cake, I'm gonna carve away a bit of it, and then I'm going to finish icing it. Very exciting stuff. You do prefer strong flavors? I don't know. It depends for me. It's kind of like, I like it, but I don't want a whole dedicated cake to it. I just like a taste of it more so. Yeah, I use this knife. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna have to kind of take quite a bit off of here in order to make this work. And like I said, fun time. You know, I appreciate you stopping by. If you ever have to go, just go. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. But I do appreciate you talking with me. It does make it nicer. So I'm just gonna try to get more of a tapered look because he is wider as you go down further and more narrow at the top. And I don't want to go crazy on it either, though, because then it's just too skinny. And this cake is so crumbly. It's probably a bad choice to do chocolate out of this. I can fatten it up at the bottom with some extra icing if I needed to. But hopefully it'll come out all right. I don't know if you can even see what I'm doing here. And it's gonna be messy. That's the part a lot of people, I think, don't realize is just how darn messy this can be. Especially for carving cake. And like I said before, I'm not going to go too narrow at the top because I do want to support his little dollop of icing or whatever it is at the top of his head. So, yeah, that'll probably do it. All that cake goes right in the trash. It's a mess, but it's my mess. Dollop of icing. Drawing mess. I appreciate that. I lost my other spatula. What did I do with it? I left it in here. Okay. There we go. It doesn't look like much now, and it will continue to not look like much for a while until we get it covered and then hardened and then fondanted. Good thing this icing's not going on the outside, gonna be seen because I have so many crumbs in it. It will look better once it's smoother. Probably be easier if I took this and put it on my turntable as well. Yeah, I don't think I can move it now. There we go. This thing is great. It lets you move cake tiers and cake layers and cakes in general, assuming you can get under them. There it is. Ha ha ha. Got it. Now I can move it safely. Okay. Yeah, only the few people are aware of the crumbs, you're right. much better looking. It's not great, not yet. That's the confidence I have right there, that it will be. I love the people who can get it super duper smooth. It's always so impressive when I see that. Some people make it look like it's like cut out of glass or something. It's so smooth and perfect. And I am not there. I've been doing this for years. I'm still not there. I'm going to keep pulling up and swooping over the top because the top is going to get covered up thick. I'm going to have the icing, or not the icing, the icing swirl of its hair, whatever it's supposed to be on the top. So it doesn't matter how smooth the icing is right there. So if I'm going to have an ugly finishing point, it's going to be there. All right, I made a bullet. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to stick it in the fridge. I know this part pretty well. I always have to make room because I never plan ahead well enough. Okay, goodbye, bullet. All right, so that's got to sit for a little bit to set. So I'm going to clean this up real quick and then move on. Stripped view of the cake. You know, if you've seen any of my file guides, you know it disappears into the refrigerator at some point or another. It's gonna happen. And then I gotta clean up the mess. And I always say, this is the boring part of live videos, where it's like, oh, you gotta sit and wait now. But I've got my little handy wipes, so it's easier now. Like 10 minutes and leave, yeah. Almost. It's funny, you can feel how sticky it is. Okay, so I don't know what else I can explain right now. Get out! There's an ad on there? Really? Is it like blocking the whole screen, or is it like running like a banner at the bottom or something? Because all I see is me on my end. I don't see anything interrupting my stream. I stripped over your ad blocker. Oh, jeez. Well, while the cake's in the refrigerator, take a look at these wonderful ads. How's that for a little segue? That's funny. I didn't realize it would do that. Huh. All right, let me take a look at this again. I feel like this is a mess. I'm gonna try to clean this up a little bit more just because it is so lumpy and bumpy. All I'm gonna do is kind of iron it, I guess you could say. I can't do too much because it's very dry here, so it's already starting to set. It'll make wrinkles if I keep messing with it. And what I'm doing right here is I'm putting some water on it because this is fondant. It'll make basically like a paste. You can see it on my finger. And if you just rub it enough, you can kind of blend in your little wrinkles and merges a bit. Anyway, again, not very good at it, but I do try. I don't think it was me that stripped you of your ad blocker. I don't know how that's possible if you have an ad blocker. Yeah, there's a lot of wrinkles on here. I'm just gonna do this for a minute. All this elephant skin, air bubbles. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna try to get some more white here. So I'm fearful that over here, when I wonder why it's doing that. Besides it hating fun time or toasty liver. It's like I'm not even trying. I remember the good old days. I'll leave you alone and to ghost in the chat. Okay, well, thanks for stopping by, Fun Time. I'm sorry you had to get spammed with commercials and apparently lagged at. But thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I really do. Gave me someone to talk to for a little bit. All right, this is not going to be anywhere near ready. Nope. And that has not been going for some reason. Coffee time. I'm to the ghost in the chat. That's funny. All right, so yeah, my cake is in the fridge right now. It's got to be in there for a good 10 minutes, I would say, before I can do anything else with it. And let me see, I'm gonna see something. This is my cake pan. I just want to see how this is going to sit, like size-wise and everything. Okay. Okay. I'm going to make this look a little bit better if I can, which I think I can. I'm going to back that up so you can actually see it a little bit more too. There we go. Huh. What is that? So I don't know. There's only one person left, and it might be just my mom. I'm not sure. I wish there was a way you could see who was in your chat or who was actually watching. It's too bad. Too bad. And now there's someone else. So if you're just tuning in here, my cake is in their freezer, cooling up, actually refrigerator, setting up. And I'm just trying to make this cake board a little more interesting looking. Like so. Gonna add a little bit more. But the cake's got to sit for a bit, unfortunately. It's just not ready to be covered. It's very tall because I'm making Peely. The new Peely from the season, that little mini season, I guess you could say, that they got going right now. So, yeah, that's better looking. That's more interesting looking. So I have him set up. It looks like a giant bullet right now, but it's gonna be amazing once it's all done. Shimmer and pearl. I think I like the pearl better. I'm just gonna mess with this. I've got some edible dust. I'm gonna put a little bit on the plate. Again, make it more interesting looking. And I'm gonna walk around a lot to get the stuff I need. And if you are making cakes, oh, Janelle's here. Hi, Janelle. What time is it? Is Zach watching today? Probably not, huh? Oh, maybe he's home from school yet. I'm not sure. But I am going to add a little bit of this dust, which you can barely see. Wet my paintbrush in some water, and then I have some of the powdered dust on it. And I'm just gonna kind of paint over with a little bit more water so it sticks better. Just paint over my clouds or whatever these are supposed to be, because I've got time to kill until the cake can come out. I don't even know if you can see it. Can you see the shimmer on here? Maybe it's just too fine. Oh, he is. Hi, Zach. How are you doing today? Did you make your science teacher cry? Oh, thank you. You did? You're not supposed to say yes. You're supposed to say no. You would never. Oops, I used the wrong one. Oh, you won't abandon me. Thanks, Mom. I have a couple of relatives watching today, which is always fun, because then it's like I'm hanging out with family, even though we're kind of far apart. Yeah, I don't think you can really see what I'm doing on here very well. You'll have to take my word for it. It looks amazing. It's like the best ever. And if only the camera could reflect it, you would just be like, Cake Boss, what? Okay. Now we're talking to each other in the chat. All right. Clean that up. And then I'm going to add something else to the cake board. I've got a lot of sparkles. I want to see what I got that might be worthwhile. I gotta do something to make it look a little better. Oh, I like these. What you can't see me doing is I have a tackle box, like a fishing tackle box, that I keep all my sprinkles and sparkles in. And so I've got some fun ones in here that I'm going to just put around, because it's like a party of sorts. Not on my clouds though. My clouds are precious. Oh, dogs. Okay. This way it makes it a little more colorful, a little more interesting to look at. And hopefully the cake will be cooled soon. I'm just pressing them down so they'll stick a little better. Put it in the ugly spots. So I always say, if you have an ugly spot or something you don't like, cover it with a decoration. If you can, of course. All right, that's a festive cake plate. I'm gonna call it good there. Check on my cake in the freezer. Keep saying freezer. Getting there. It's gonna need a few more minutes, unfortunately. And thanks, Zach, for the happy birthday, and Janelle. I gotta say, Mom called and sang at me. Just saying. And Jamie happened to be there, so she jumped in on it. So I'm owed one more, I think. Alright. I don't know there's much else I could do with this. No, I don't think so. Okay. Yeah, so you have to talk to me because we have to wait for 10 more minutes before I can take the cake out of the refrigerator. Oh, you were there too? Oh, I didn't realize. I missed it somehow. So really, Zach is the only one who has to still sing at me. And yeah, so my cake will come out, it'll come out in a few minutes. It's almost there. It's just gonna be a lot of weight on it. And unless it's good and firm and set, which is why you put it in the fridge or the freezer, depending how desperate you are to get it cold quickly, it's going to just be too soft. It'll just kind of sag under the weight of the decorations, the fondant, all that good stuff. That's why you put your cake in the refrigerator. I'm just going to press these down because it kind of feels neat to do. It's like popping bubble wrap or something. Like, I highly recommend this. So yeah, sorry, this part's a little dull. Just need to get there. You could have called at 7:30 to sing at me. I don't keep my phone in our bedroom, so I wouldn't have even been bothered by it. And then I would have a recording of it that I could listen to on my sad days. You're like, "Aw, he sang at me." Also, is it like laggy or anything? Because someone had said before that it was getting a little laggy. That there were commercials or something that rolled, and then it got laggy. It seems like it's okay. Okay. Okay, now that I pushed all the buttons. Almost. All right. Yeah. So that'll be fine. I'm going to put this back. And I wish I could have music or something going, but I can't because YouTube will flag me. All right. I've got my little rolling pin. I'm ready. Though I'll probably use the big one, honestly. Okay. Got my paddle. And I've got my pre-mixed fondant, which I feel like is probably going to be a little too dark. So if anybody does decide to try doing this is ivory that I mixed in this fondant, and it's just too much. It should be a little bit lighter. I mean, it'll be fine. Nobody's going to call the banana police on me. But I can see the difference. I see the difference with it. Once the cake comes out, I'm going to cover it with this and then get going on it. So once we get to that part, that's when it gets better. This is just the boring part. Not that cake decorating is ever boring, right? Ooh, almost there. Couple more minutes, like 1 more minute. It's just about there. Okay, move this, move that. I'm gonna grease up the countertop, get that ready. And I put this down to make sure that when I do roll out anything on here, it's not going to stick. Some people have the silicone rolling mats that they use, and I had one and I used it all the time when I first started doing this, and then it just became like, why am I doing this? Why am I rolling out a mat? And I had to tape it to the counter, and then you have to I would still grease it a little bit, and then you use it, and then you have to clean it, and then you have to put it away. Or you just do it on your countertop and there's no taping, no extra cleaning. All right, I'm gonna take it out, see what happens. Might have to go back in. But for now, my bullet is looking very bullety. There we go, the cake is back. Pretty stable, pretty stable. I am going to put it here, move my icing. Okay. Can you even see it? Probably not, huh? That's okay. You'll just have to trust me on it. May as well stick it back. Okay. I'm going to roll out my fondant now. Greased counter, plenty of fondant. And that's one thing a lot of people don't realize when you start doing cakes is the amount of waste that you have. Because you need too much fondant, not enough. Too much is always better than not enough because you gotta have it come down the sides all the way, and if you're short in one little spot, it's such a pain. So I am rolling this out, like I said, on my counter. This is just fondant. I use satin ice. I get asked that sometimes, in case anybody's wondering. I've tried Wilton. Wilton works fine too, a little more easily accessible than satin ice. But I prefer satin ice's texture and elasticity, I guess you could say. It stretches a little bit nicer than the Wilton, rather than like when it folds over the edges, you can end up with like the elephant skin again, like the little pulls or crinkles in it. So this one just works a little bit better. Of course, it's also practice and getting used to it and technique and all those other words they throw at you when you're learning to do anything. Alright. Oh, look, I got some crumbs in it. Oh well. Oh well. We'll cover it with a decoration. Alright. Where'd I put it away, didn't I? Dang it. Alright, gotta get my cake plate. I don't want to do this to cover this cake necessarily on top of the cake board yet. Oh, this is really stuck on here. Hold up, wait a minute. Because I'm going to get it all over what I've done there, so I'd rather not mess that up if I don't have to. So I'm going to try to cover it on here. And this way the sides will overhang and I can trim it down to whatever length I want. And there you go. So stretched it a little bit, but that should be all right. Look at that wrinkle, bad wrinkle. as always, there's gonna be a front, a front of your cake where it looks the best. See, darn crumbs. Okay. No. Okay. And this is a little bit tricky too when you have something that starts out more narrow and then gets wider. It makes all these little wrinkles in these little folds here that you have to lift and then run your hand or your finger down to smooth out. So this one was a big one right here. So you lift it up, and then smooth it down. It might put the other one back here again. So you gotta smooth, smooth, smooth. And then you work your way all around. I'm gonna trim off this extra skirt, because if I try to turn this right now, it's not gonna move. It's gonna be stuck to the counter, and it will be a problem. Okay, so more of the same. Try to get these wrinkles out. Oh, darn it. Without smearing chocolate cake on it. I typically say in my videos, do better than me. Take your time and do better than me. I can give you the idea at least. And some people, like I said before, some people are just geniuses at this, and they're just like, oh, smooth as water on a still day. And when you get to the end, you're gonna end up chasing your last little wrinkle around, but hopefully it won't be too bad. Okay, again, trimming off the extra. If you can't see it, you're gonna have to take my word on it. Here, I can slide it. There you go. And there's a lot extra, like I said before. You don't want waste. Oh, it did a commercial, like in the middle of it. Huh, that's interesting to see. Oh, and it's back. And the one camera's frozen for some reason. The other one is just fine though, so I'm gonna keep going until the other camera angle can be fixed. I don't know what happened with that, but all I'm gonna do is start to smooth. Again, this is just my fondant paddle. This is what it's made to do. I use it for all kinds of purposes that don't involve fondant, just cause it's so handy like that. Oh, we're back. Here we go, we're back again. Thank you. My husband is my cameraman. Alrighty. See, look how much nicer it is when you smooth it out. Hide all those ugly lumps and bumps. Plastic surgery of the cake world. I was watching that TV show Botched on Netflix recently. So now it's like, they make plastic surgery seem so easy to do. Like you're not rearranging everything. Oh, look at that. Gamer Boy 14 is on here. Thanks, Gamer Boy, for stopping by. That's very sweet of you to think of me. That's my son. He's in college now. He's big, and that makes me sad and happy. All right, I'm going to trim some more because I don't need all this at the bottom. And then I'm going to try to move it over onto the cake plate. Snip, snip. And undoubtedly, because I'm doing this all backwards and everything, I'm probably going to make a mistake cutting around the edge and make it too short. But we'll survive. No one's gonna call anybody. Alrighty. And just like before, going upwards with some of my strokes here. And there's gonna be lumps and bumps that I'm not gonna get out. probably would have been better, honestly, to do a second layer of icing and then put it back in the fridge again and let that sit up. But I don't want to be forever about this cake, and it's super boring when it's sitting in the fridge not doing anything. Okay, whoops, put this extra back. Alrighty. Okay. Yeah, like I said, he should be way more tapered because of the banana shape, but I want him to be hearty. I want him to be a big, meaty, beefy banana guy. Peely, that's the word, peely. Alright, hopefully you can see this. Okay, so I'm going to carefully and quickly and set. Okay. We now have a banana on a wad. Yeah, a wad of banana, I should say, sitting on here. I'm going to try to smooth them down because, again, it's still a little bit softer than I would like it to be. In fact, I am going to stick it in the fridge for a few minutes. First, what I want to do, though, is take that off, a piece of fuzz. Tuck in that edge a little bit more. Knock that sprinkle off and then put it back. Alright, now, let me see. There you go, it's a little better. I'm going to put some creases in it. I've got my veining tool right here, and I'm going to just trace up it around a few times. I just need to be careful. Get this chocolate off the front. This is probably, yeah, this is gonna be my front, I think. And so I'm gonna go up with it, but I have to watch because his mouth sits between two lines, two seams. So I don't want to mess that up. So I'm going to just, hopefully, go up, and I just made a crease. Okay, I'm going to leave a good amount of space because I'd rather have too much than not enough, and give him another line that just goes up. And I've got about that much space in between, so I'm going to keep on keeping on. All the way around him. I don't know that it matters if I go all the way around him or not, but I'm going to. That one didn't go over well. Okay. And it feels like I must be right on top of each other with the lines because up top they're so close. But down bottom, there's a good amount of distance between them still. Right about here, and then there should be, yeah, about one more. Okay. Let's go a little bit harder. This is a different type of flower making tool. It's got balls on it. I didn't want to press too hard with the veining tool I was using because it can tear, it can slice right into your fondant because it is kind of sharp. But at least with this, I shouldn't break through the fondant in my crease making attempts. That ridge right there. Yeah, so you can see it's a little spirally. It's got a little twist on the back of him here. Oh well, that's why it's on the back, right? Or is it the front? That would be terrible if it was the front. Nah, we're good. Okay. kind of like making a pumpkin cake, although typically with the pumpkin cakes you carve out of the cake the grooves to make them really, really stand out, and I don't want it quite like that, but yeah, there we go. Just ignore that little spirally one and then it's perfect. All right, I'm gonna stick this in the fridge again for a minute as it needs to set up a little more, and then we'll keep going. All right, oh, it's top heavy. I hope I don't drop this. Okay. And the good thing is, fondant sets up real quick when you put it in the fridge. It gets cold and firm real fast, which is good. That's a good thing. In the meantime, clear up some of my mess. Alright. And let's see, when it comes out, I'm going to start with his decorations a little bit. I've got his face that I'm going to do, his head or hair and the cherry on top, his big eyes. And I don't know if I'll probably do like the top ruffle of his coat around his shoulders and the back of his neck, just because I think that's all you would really see. So yeah, not actually a lot left to do with this. This isn't that involved of a cake. It's just in and out of the refrigerator 100 million times. So again, this is one of those down times where I try to get the chocolate off the counter. Now what I kind of feel like? Pizza. Yeah, maybe. I know it's not healthy, but I kind of feel like pizza.
Birthday pizza.
Birthday pizza, that's right. With like anchovies. So you always hear about it, and I don't know that we've ever tried it. And I do like anchovies. So anyway. Yep, cleaning the counter. Very exciting stuff. Oh, so this is going to take a minute. Sorry, guys. Whoever's watching. But unfortunately, this is the reality. It goes in, it goes out. It goes in, it goes out. A lot of downtime. This is when I wish I could have some music or something. Or be like, oh, and here's a little scene from the new show I'm watching, Hoarders Season 8 or something like that. So, yeah. But I can't eat the cake. How was the cake?
It was delicious.
Yeah, it's a good chocolate cake. But I see you only ate that like moist, dark spot off of the top.
I was trying not to eat too much of it.
Uh-huh. There was plenty of cake.
I'll bring the rest with me to Scouts.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Scouts tonight. All right, let's see. Is this good enough? No, definitely not. Okay, yeah, sorry. It's going to be a few more minutes, so I'll be back. Not you. YouTube. Okay, I'm back. Like I said, just a minute. This might have to be good enough. It's so close. It's so close to being good enough. But, okay. We're bringing it back out. So I don't want to keep waiting all day. Okay.
Well, there's really no rush either.
No, I know, but I want to get it done too. I don't like being delayed either. That's where that went. Got a little pocket right there. One of those little candies needs to go into. All right. Find my front. Give them a little more of a smooth in the front at least. Okay. Okay, yeah, that'll work. All right, I'm going to start. I gotta keep, because the way he is, I gotta keep, pull a little closer. I gotta keep the eyes and the face like lower, like down here, so that there's more room for the banana-y part at the top. Got chocolate cake on my knuckle. What have chocolate cake everywhere? So I'm gonna have the mouth more down here, and then I'm gonna have his two eyes, more like that. So his mouth is very close to his eyes. And then we'll go from there. Okay, I've got a plan. It's all coming together. This darn chocolate cake one. And he's got a little teeny tiny mouth. So I'm just gonna go straight across, and I'm using my X-Acto knife here. And I'm just gonna cut down his little tiny mouth. And take this piece out. And hopefully it's not too crooked. It's only a little crooked. I'm making it a little bit bigger for crookedness sake. Alright. I'm gonna put a little piece of black inside there. His mouth. My brown because it's already very dark. Open the black. Touch. Just kind of mash it up together. And I'm sticky. So I'm gonna use a little bit of grease. And the grease that I'm using, it's just vegetable shortening. People use powdered sugar a lot when they work with fondant. I feel like it dries it out, so I don't. I use the Crisco. Works for me. You know, you get comfortable with whatever you do. So you find what works and then you go with it. And you will find that your hands get stained like crazy. Okay. Ugh. So even with something as small as this, you're going to want to put some grease down in order to not stick to it. Whoops, like that, because you might end up launching it. Are you eating more cake?
Just a little bit.
Do whatever. I don't know if I want it that thin. You can see how soft it is.
This camera keeps shutting off.
Oh, that's not good. So what I'm going to do to get this in the mouth is I'm going to roll it into a ball. Oh my goodness, my dog's complaining. Roll each end to a bit of a point and leave it kind of fat in the center like that. You see the dog, the puppy picture? That's her, actually. That's funny. And so, tilt this back up. I've got those 2 points and I'm going to just kind of fit it into the mouth now. And because I got those 2 points going, they'll tuck up into the corners, hopefully properly. Oh my goodness. You suffer terribly, dog. And that's part of the problem too, is they know that there's cake involved right now. And there you go. You fill his little mouth in. And the whole idea of cutting the mouth out to do this is if you keep building outward, which you absolutely could do, but if you keep building outward, you're gonna have like a periscoping effect coming out of your cake. It's gonna be like the black and then the teeth and then the tongue. He's gonna be like 3 layers, 2 or 3 layers coming out of his face by the time you're done with his mouth. Or, you know, you tuck it in and you reduce some of it. Of course, depending how fat you make everything. You might still have it to a degree, but it's gotta be better, right? And I'm just gonna make some circles for his teeth. And see where that gets me. Gets him looking like he's got a buck tooth. Is she working her way across the carpet? On her belly?
A little bit.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it again because it actually did work out pretty good. So I want his teeth to be rounded at the bottom. And then when my back is turned, my husband comes in the kitchen and drinks my coffee and eats my cake scraps.
It's all true.
Dang it, it's my coffee. There you go, he's got his little teeth. Got some teal for his tongue. Gonna do the same thing, just a little bit wider at the bottom. I probably should have done the tongue. No, I should have. Let's just be real. I should have done the tongue first, but I didn't. C'est la vie. If you do the tongue first, then you can overlap the teeth on top of it. But because I didn't do that and I don't want to do it over again, I'm just gonna have to make the tongue not touch. So his tongue is gonna come up, but it's not gonna come all the way up. And make sure you keep the tongue rounded as well. So it'll settle right down into that crack of the cuts we made. And there you go. He's got his little mouth. All right, let's see. I'm gonna give him his eyes next. Yes. I already have that dark brown here. And this is going to be a lot easier because they're just enormous circles, like blop, done, perfect. But again, you can see that it's sitting on the outside of those stripes if you look at a picture of them. So I do want them huge because they fill up the entire width of the stripe. I don't know if I'm going to do that because he's not exactly to scale and he might look like a freaky, you know, minion monster or something if I do, but I am going to make them a good size. Still keeping in mind that it should fill up, you know, most if not all of that space. Actually, it doesn't look crazy. It's definitely big. Don't think I'll go bigger, but okay. He's like, you know what he kind of looks like since he's so fat? Is like he's a baby version of the Peely. I'm doing the, what is that called? The chibi version, when it's supposed to be big-eyed and cute. This is also where I kind of went wrong, but we'll try. We'll see. I didn't measure out how much of that brown I took the first time, so already it's like the same size and so much thicker. So I gotta trim some away. Just roll it and then I'm pinching it.
Off and just redo it.
No, it's not worth it. The other eye looks good. And I am clever enough that I can take a little off and still have it work. Oh, that's too high. Yeah, I should have made the stripes a little bit more together. But if I move the eyes, I might get that effect back. Even though it's not going to be quite as accurate. So it should be like right about here. More almost in line with the edge of his mouth. And that's on me. Now if I had been more careful with my stripes.
Hmm.
Yeah, see, it looks better closer in. He looks less like a infant. And unlike before, I'm not going to cut out the circles. Oh, we went to commercial. I'm not going to cut out the circles in the yellow because his eyes kind of like bulge out a bit, like bug-eyed.
What went out to commercial?
The screen,
How do you know?
because I can see it there.
What commercial?
It was a bank. YouTube is running ads during this live stream. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to give him his eyebrows. He's got an orange and a blue. This is again just fondant I'm using. I don't know if I'm going to use any gum paste with this at all, but we'll see. Yeah, probably not actually. So I'm making a big old Jimmy out of this one. The key is it's got to be an even thickness. You can't have it get fatter in the center or anything like that, and then you want to kind of pat the ends down so that they look blunted on the end, and then raise them high. He's got very high eyebrows. Stay there. And this fondant is sticky enough. I don't know if it's a humid day or what. I don't think so. It's probably just my hands are warm. But when you put it on, it just sticks. If it weren't sticking, I would use a little bit of water on a paintbrush to make it stick. But this is doing just fine. It's sticking me like crazy. Yeah, it's about the same size. I'm gonna trim a little bit off because I feel like it's too fat. Just a smidge too fat. Again, pat the end off. Try to flatten it a little. Oh, I just stabbed him in the head. Sorry, Peely. That should be about the same. Yeah, it's about the same. Close enough. Right about there. Right about there. Oh, one is higher than the other. Okay. There. Okay. That's coming together now. I don't think I need this anymore. I'm going to add a little bit of the white around his collar, for his collar. I want to get this color off my hands as much as I can. Because as soon as I start messing with the white, it's all going to come off and transfer. Probably going to get flagged because I keep humming that song we were listening to earlier in the show. It might. YouTube's gonna be like, that's not your song to hum.
There is a app that does that though. Hum a few bars and it tells you what song it is.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's based on YouTube monetization.
No. Watch. It is now. Alright, let's bring it down. So you see what I'm doing here? I'm just rolling this out. Roll it, roll it. Push my sleeves up. Roll it, roll it.
Uh-oh, let's stop again.
And I'm gonna cut it because I just need enough on the sides to show.
So what's the deal with this camera that keeps stopping?
I don't know.
It's going now,
Okay.
but it takes.
All right. I don't know. And what I'm doing here is I'm pressing really hard the fondant between my hands. And when I do that and roll it around, it gets rid of all the seams. Like this one, you can see all the seams where I folded it all together. But if you roll it around really hard, it helps to get rid of them. See? Look at that. All right. I'm just gonna kind of roll it out a little bit, have it taper a bit, and gonna lump it up like that. Can you see it? Okay. And same thing with the other side. Technically his coat goes all the way around into the back, but I don't want to waste all that fondant doing that. I do have to still have enough left to do the top of his head. So maybe it's something I'll come back to. Maybe it's not. Who knows?
Wait and find out.
Right?
It's a cliffhanger.
It is. It's a mystery. Okay. So it kind of comes around him like that. Like I said, I'm going to do it kind of lumpy. Same thing on the other side. I just gotta watch where I bring it. I don't want to bring it too far to the front. And look how close it is in the back. It's so close. Oh well. And I want it up against him. Like so. Not this one. This one. I'm gonna try to carefully put some kind of fluff ribbons, not ribbons, but fluff marks, creases. Nope, not doing it. In order to separate out the rings on his jacket collar. Alright, now put some chocolate drizzle on his collar. I'm just going to take some more of the brown I had before and just kind of lay it on him, sort of. You can see it's got like little bits here and there. So I'm going to put those on as well. Assuming it doesn't all just stick to me instead. I don't know what's going on necessarily. I guess the idea is he's a banana split, is my guess.
Yeah.
With the sprinkles and whipped cream.
Yeah, show the picture.
I have a picture.
No, the whole thing of them.
Oh. Okay. Gamer boy, how did your nutrition quiz go? That's a funny question. That's a good question. I'm kind of curious myself. I don't even know if he's still
I don't
on
think
here.
he's still on.
Nah, this isn't his thing.
He's a busy guy.
He is. He's got hubcaps to collect and highways to walk
There
down.
he is, and then you.
Oh, he's got a waffle cone.
It's like an ice. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Well, we're not getting that far in him. Or down onto him. Alright. I'm gonna definitely need some more fondant here. Good thing I have extra. Alright. if it was like I said, taller, skinnier, you know. It would look better, but it wouldn't be as stable because in order to make his little cream puff swoop on the top, he's going to need a lot. And it's going to be heavy. And I'm quite sure there are other people who could make it work, but bully for them, right? Okay, I need to, all right. I don't know if I'll be able to, so there's the idea. Gotta get these lines out. And then put new lines in. Because it comes up kinda big. Let's see, bring it down. Okay. I'm making a tadpole basically here. Some people might see other things and that's their problem. Ugh, this is where I probably should use gum paste or add some thickening agent to it, some CMC or Tylo's powder, just because it's limp. You can see the little swirl. It keeps settling, like it's not gonna stay where I want it necessarily. I'm going to have to just make do with it, which I can. I am nothing if not adaptable. I'm putting some more creases in it, just like before. And it doesn't matter as much if I cut into this one, because it's not really going anywhere anyway. Nope, I hate it. Starting over. I hate it. This is going to be the bane of the whole thing. It's this stupid little swishy thing on top of his head. Okay, so bring it out, bring it down, and then if it's sticking to the counter, a little bit more. That's better looking, I think. But then I want it to bend. Go a little wider, because I gotta have a cherry on top. Alright, and I want some creases to give kind of the idea of whipped cream streaks, what I want to call them. But I need them a little smoother. It all falls apart up here. Alright, this is better. Alright, now I've got more. Smooth that out. But now I've got more of the streaks that go with his hairdo. closer. And up even more. Okay. And it goes out to the side. So I'm going to kind of pose it like that. Gotta put some chocolate on it. This one looks like a drop. So I'm just making a teardrop out of the chocolate. The brown. Putting that on there. And then a little bit, same idea. A little longer of a drop, it seems. Coming out around the side. And then a little drip right there. Whoops, down lower. Right out there. You see it? And then my picture cuts out, so I can't really see the rest. But I can see it's kind of like a big splat on top where the cherry sits. So I'm going to take a big piece and just kind of pull it out into different directions. I gotta be careful not to pull too hard or I'll rip it. Tedious. This part is just tedious. You can see he's got a couple like drops and things on his jacket that I missed that I'm gonna add because why not? This is almost done. He's cute. I like him. Right there. It's gonna bother me. And all I'm doing is using the back of my fingernail to kind of smooth out the lines. Try to hide some of the crack right there. It's making me nuts. Okay. And now, the cherry on top. Once again, I got a red bowl. This is fondant. You could use gum paste, whatever. It doesn't matter here. You can tell it's kind of like sunk down into the whipped cream. It's not just sitting on top. Or at least that's how it looks. Thought I was being spoken to off screen, but I wasn't. Something's going on. He is cute, right? I'm happy with him. I cut my circle in half. I'm going to flatten it a little bit. Kind of divot the center. Make it a little more gentle. Don't have anything without. And cherries aren't really round, they're kind of oblong. So, place that on top. He's so cute. Press it down a little bit in the center. Get my hole back. Oh, hey, Lukey boy, sussy. Yeah, I know you from Game Jolt. You're like the second or third person who actually made it over here, and you're just in time to see the end of this. So far, And I'm just gonna add the stem on top. Yeah, you missed all the waiting for the cake to cool in the refrigerator. So good timing. Let's see. Do I have spaghetti? I need a piece of spaghetti. I'll be right back. Nope. Okay. Because I try really hard not to use any wires or toothpicks or anything that would hurt anybody. So I've got my piece of dried spaghetti, and I'm gonna angle this down real quick. Yeah, Lukey boy, it's been very quiet. I miss the Game Jolt firesides. They were more exciting. They were more fun. People would talk to you. And I worked it over this, oh, you can't even see it. I worked it over the spaghetti stick. Cut off the top because it's way too much. Look how soft it is. Ugh. I'm just stabbing it up with my thumbnail, doing that. I'm just very gently pulling down on this because it's so soft. And I want the extra gone. That should do it. That should do it. I'll flatten the stem a little bit. And I do see that it kind of curves off to the side, so we're just going to pretend that this is curving. But it's not. Alright, back up. Fix the angle here. Bring it a little closer. A little higher. Alright, so I've got my little hole, divot that I made in there. And I can see chocolate is too thin. I'll patch this real quick. Okay. Okay. I'm getting slippery now. I'm all greasy. Now, pour the piece de resistance. Gonna stick his little stem in. I'm pushing it down at the top because that's only gonna flatten it off even more. And there you go. Okay. How's that for a little cherry on top? And I'll turn it so you can see it. There he is. Yeah. How cute, right? So that's it. That's it. Thanks for watching, Lukey boy. Thanks for watching, Janelle and Gamer Boy if he's there, and Jane Parker if she's there, and thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. I know it's kind of a pain to come over from Game Jolt to find me here, but for those who did, I appreciate it. And let's see. I don't think I can get far back enough that you can see this one here. Can you see it? I can't see what I'm doing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Nope. Closer. A little closer. And back even more. There we go. Now you can see him. Whoosh. How cute. I like him a lot. He makes me happy. He's very cute. He has a little, got the chibi thing going on, but that's okay. You know, he'll be delicious either way. And there's a commercial.
So they can't hear you during the commercial.
Nope.
Wait, they could still hear you and see you because their commercial
I don't know.
might not be the
I
same
skipped the
as
ads, so I
yours.
don't know if it worked or not. I skipped the ads on my tablet, so hopefully, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks, Lukey boy, for stopping in. You know, just at the finish line. And yeah, have a good evening, guys. Goodbye. pose it. One more time. There you go. Yeah, chat exists. It's just not very active. The kids are usually the ones who talk more and have stuff to say. But thanks for stopping by on my birthday, Lukey boy. You and Funtime are my favorite now, by the way. So, yes, there you go. You're my favorite. You can go back on Game Jolt and be like, suck it.
You should post it there, your favorites.
Yeah. All right, goodbye.